Hello everybody. In this demonstration I'm going to show you how to cut straight lines and curved lines. But we need to get our area prepped first. So we always try to make sure we don't leave glass laying around, so we put bed sheets on. If you are watching this, you might already had our mosaic project. You already know how to do it. If you do, just kind of skip ahead. If you don't, what we do is we grab these bed sheets. I usually try to put them over there. And you cover one of the tables. So they're fitted, single-sized bed sheets, maybe double. I don't know exactly, but they fit, and that's all that really kind of matters. Grab their side. But this is all set. So now if we get glass on this, we don't get glass on the table, and I'll show you, at the end that we just carefully lift this up, kind of shake it loosely on the ground there, make sure there's no glass on the chairs or anything like that, okay? The next thing is that we have to get all your supplies out. So you should have your boards, as well as your bucket. Now, I also like to have these trays, like 1 or 2 per table, because we throw a lot of our excess glass inside of here. So you need to have that. Now I'm going to get it set up for the demonstration, so I'm going to bring the camera over here so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so first up, I want to get my cutting board, which is this one right here. This one with the size on there, this eventually gets taped on here, and you put your project on there when you're working on it. Next, I'm going to get my tools out of my bucket. I'm going to need my runner. I'm going to need my safety goggles. I'm going to need a marker and my breaker grouser. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff, isn't there? My glass cutter, and then I got my cutting fluid here. So we're kind of all set. And then I also use some scrap paper or some scrap glass when I do this. So the first thing is that you want to learn how to cut a straight line. So I'm going to take my marker, and I'm just going to draw a line. So it's down like this. And then I'm going to cut it. I have my fluid out. I'm going to take my glass cutter, and I'm going to push it in there to make sure that it cuts and it doesn't dull the blade down too fast. Now what I like to do is I actually want to stand up when I do this. I'm not very good at doing this sitting down. Is I'm going to put my hand down in here, push down. You're listening for that crunching sound? And your goal is to actually cut right along that line. Then I'm going to take my runner, screw side is up like this. You'll see a little notch right there again. You want to put that right in line with your cut. And then you just squeeze, and there's your straight line cut. I'm going to do that again. Okay, again, push down, cut across. Again, don't let this just snap against the ground, but kind of let up a little bit at the end there. Now I can use my runner and cut this again, but if you do have large sheets like this, you can have a thumb up, and then you can actually just snap it in half like that, and that's perfectly fine and safe as well. Once you're done with that, we're going to just do kind of just like a curve. So nothing crazy, but a nice kind of curve like this. So I'm going to push down. Trying to curve my body there. And back up. You still use my runner. I'm going to squeeze a little bit on that side. I heard a little bit of a crack. Squeeze a little bit on that side. And then it was able to cut that curve out pretty nice. Okay? Do that again. So you don't want to do, a crazy road, just kind of a nice swish back and forth. A little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. And it cracks right off like that. Okay? Now I have glass on here, and I also explained this in another video as well. You're going to put all your scraps in here, and just never want to take your hand across there, but you want to get it cleaned up. Next one, I'm going to switch to a different color glass, so you can see kind of be down dark, and we're going to do a kind of a circle and a crescent shape on that one. Okay. Okay, in this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to cut out a circle and then how to cut out the crescent shape when you do this. So I have this on a stained glass. It's black. I figured you could see the lines a little better instead of it being on a clear piece of glass. So, but it's the same thing. And you might even have a design that you end up having to use a circle anyways. So this will work. So first off, I have my fluid there, so I can use my glass cutter. Make sure that this stays as sharp as possible. So first thing that we do, remember, is that we need to square in the shape. So this is already cut here. It's already ready to cut there. So I'm going to do another cut here and here. Now I do want to do my best, try to get it right along that inside edge right here, not on this side, because this is the shape I want. And when I trace this out, again, I want to get rid of any of the line that's there. So I'm going to turn this over, set this down. Have that one and that one right there. Now I do have my runner that I can use. So remember, the screw side is up. Stick that in here as far as I can. Squeeze it gently, and then that pops right off. This is a little on the narrower side. So I'm going to take my breaker grouser. So remember, the breaker part is when the flat side is up. If I'm grousing, this curved side should be up. So I want to break this. So you do not break it like this, because this is completely flat. You need to bring it on the side here. Just hold on to this and just push down, and then that cuts that nice and good. Next, I want to cut and square off those corners here. Okay, take my breaker. Okay, next I want to be able to grouse these corners, and I want to use that tray to be able to grouse everything in. So I'm going to grab that tray. So I have the tray right here. Take my pieces that I got. Get all these tools off. Now I'm going to grouse this. So now I want to have my curved side up, come across here. Now when you grouse, you want to just kind of bite it just a little bit. There's a little bit of pressure, and then you want to go down with your hand. So if I was looking at it like this, I'm going to grab it here, and then I just want to go down with my hand a little bit. And I'm not tightening this and grabbing this as tight as I can grab it. It's a little bit of pressure, and then you just finish the squeeze, and you bring that down. Now you can kind of see this real close, that I'm using the teeth because I have that blue there. I want to get rid of that. So I'm using the teeth that are in there and letting them grind across that top to smooth that out. Now in class, after your practice piece is done, in your real project, I'll talk about what the glass grinder is. And you can use that to smooth this off even more. For the practice one, we don't use it, because I want you to get used to using your breaker grouser, because it's so much faster. And you just use the grinder to get kind of this roughness off of it. Okay, there you go. Okay, next step is I want to draw a crescent shape. And you don't want like a deep one like this. You want to kind of have a general one because it's your first one. Like that. So that's pretty good. So I'm gonna kind of turn this up so you can't see the glare as much. Now before I cut it, I have all this little pieces of glass, and you can listen to this. I'm kind of pushing back and forth with my fingers like that. That'll ruin your glass. So you'll be taking and lifting this up, having your tray right here, and you don't want to take your hand and do that. You'll end up asking for a couple Band-Aids. But you want to grab one of these brushes, and you want to do this often. You want to have a nice, clean, flat surface, and you do this. Okay, the way you do inside cuts, there's a couple ways. I want to do a straight line cut from here to here first. So this way, if you broke your circle and you have like a little chip out of it, it's not that big a deal because we're going to use half of it, so it is what it is. So let me put this down. Goes all the way up. I'm going to take my breaker. Comes off really easily. Okay, next step is I'm going to trace this line out. And again, we do one curve. You don't all the way through there. So I'm going to get kind of comfortable. I like to put my thumb behind the cutter when I do these. So I have it like this as I'm pushing it because it helps me direct it. So now I have it cut along here. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take bites off of it. So I'm going to draw it so you can see it. Is that we go from the cut here to the middle, from the cut here to the middle, and then the top of this arch, and go to the top of that arch. So you can see these little half circles. I'll bring this up here a little closer, like that. And then I'm going to take one more. Right here and right here. So you take little bites out of it. So I'm going to start here with my cut. The first one. It's got that one there. That one there. That one there. And actually just came right off. Good. What I normally like it to do is when it's like this, I'm going to pretend that's there, is you take your breaker and it's like this. Remember, this whole thing is attached. So normally that doesn't do that. But I was lucky. Is you just kind of wiggle this back and forth, slowly, and then up and down. So it's just kind of going all over the place. Because you try to create these little micro fractures that are in there. And that one broke off right there because I had that cut right there. So you start taking these little bites off of it. And that's how you ultimately get to this part. Now, if you notice, I do have that. And normally I would just go in and clean up with this first, and then I would use the grinder. And sometimes with these inside cuts, I wouldn't even do that. I would just use the grinder right away. But that's how you cut out your crescent shape. So if you break it, try your other half of your circle. If you break that one again, it is what it is. You'll figure it out. So good luck on that, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.